when you're the one who pops your pussy so fucking quick that men lose respect for you. You care more about going and getting cracked on national television where your daughter can see this in 10 years time than being there for your daughter and missing her graduation for school and her birthday? Huda listens to respond. She doesn't listen to actually take it in and understand what the person is trying to say, which is why her and Chris were so not compatible.
No such thing as a life that's better than yours. No such thing as a life that's better than yours. No such thing, no such thing.
Jumbo everyone, welcome back, and in today's video I'm going to be talking about Huda. Coercion is still SA, and also Huda's manipulative behavior throughout Love Island season 7. So without further ado, let's get started. So of course I want to keep on my little Love Island train. Y'all are blowing up my Nicolandria video. Clark it. So within this video, I think I wanted to go a little bit more in depth about Huda's behavior because I have seen the podcast that she's going on. I've seen other people debriefing them, and I just kind of want to put my own 2 cents in, especially when I kind of like could see the redemption arc that she was going through. But in the same way, I was, girl, production talked to you and said, if you don't calm the fuck down, they're sending your ass home. But also like the whole stand on business challenge. Now I'm realizing how edited that was, and I don't know if it's producers or whatever allowing Huda to have this like victim mentality or just like everybody having sympathy for her in a sense. But when she got out of the villa, girl, you're embarrassing yourself. But more importantly, within this video, I do want to talk about her behavior, especially throughout the season, but more importantly, how nobody, yes, a lot of people are talking about it, but in the same aspect, I think what's most important is to understand that her behavior is actually dangerous. And in the same sense, for her to even try to coerce Chris into having sex with her and being like 3, 2, 1, counting down like he's a child, and then being like, well, if it's worth me being mad tomorrow, then so be it. I know you're lying. I know you're lying. So I think I just wanted to talk about that because I'm being a little TMI right now, but I do have personal experience when it comes to coercion and sexual assault. So that's where, when it came to her, that's where it was like, I've lost all respect for you, because I think especially with the way that she has treated all the men that she has talked to throughout this season, it's disappointing to say the least. I think just another disappointing thing is that when it comes to Huda, yes, I think I really want to talk more in the aspect of like the Black community and Chris being a Black man. I think Huda comparing Jeremiah and Chris to each other, Jeremiah would kind of just let Huda just say what she needed to say to get it over with, because I think he's a little bit more avoidant, where we could see it on the couch where they have that one little tussle, not even a tussle sounds like they're fighting. They're having like a disagreement, and Jeremiah is doing the to Huda, and Huda's like, bitch, what the fuck? So then of course she pulls him for a chat, and I feel like Huda is used to like steamrolling people into like just following her lead into whatever. So I think with Jeremiah, it was very like, she was the dominant one. Then JD, I mean, he wasn't wrong. He did have a point where he's like, you like being dominant, and I think he could have gone about it in a way better way. But at the same time, like, Huda does like being dominant, and it's okay. Like, that's something that's okay to admit. I even talked about it in my Nicolandria video that like, I think femdom is my thing. Like, I want to be a little bit more dominant, but at the same time, I want a man to put me in that feminine so I can be dominant. If that makes sense. I don't know. I know just naturally, I'm already naturally dominant, so I could see why people are making the parallels of femdom to Nicolandria, because it just like, Alandria is so like in her feminine now that she's still able to like be the dominant one, but at the same time feminine at the same time, if you are picking up what I'm putting down. And like I said, Huda, it's okay to admit that you were a midnight ballerina. No one is judging you on the fact that you did all that. And I think also she low-key exposed herself within all the challenges that had something to do with, moving your ass. The Meg challenge, the heart rate challenge, the last challenge that they did where it was like crash out or whatever, and her coming down the pole. Girl, if you move your legs like this, you think regular civilians know how to do that trick? No. I think she's very insecure about that, and she kind of treated the Love Island playground kind of as a strip club. Like, she expects all these men to be flocking at her, and when that doesn't happen, she blames the women and not the men.
You know what the problem is with the way Huda flirts? She flirts like she's talking to her customers at the strip club. Like, I don't think she can get out of that like mindset or mentality. Like, I think she's so used to being like lusted over and like over sexualized and objectified that she just kind of accepts it and uses it to her advantage, when in reality, like, you don't have to do all that. You don't have to always be so touchy-feely and give them like the sex eyes. Like, even with the way she would interact with Jeremiah, if something was going wrong or if they were fighting, like, the way she tried to win him back over was being super sexual or being intimate or kissing or touching, and like,
on purpose. No, because you're rude.
Yeah, I forgot you're tired too, and I'm over here listening to you and you're tired. I can't listen to you when you're tired because you gaslight me.
Because we saw the amount of times that she would crash out whenever the bombshells came in. I was just, watching videos to do research for this video, and Amaya coming in and picking Jeremiah. Are you serious? Why the fuck would she pick Jeremiah knowing what him and I have going on? It's only my 3rd day out here. I don't know. Like, girl, y'all have been in the villa for 4 fucking days. What do you even mean? So that's where I'm just like, even from the beginning, she has trash talked the women that have come and talking about, well, I get Jeremiah, it's okay, but for her to pick Jeremiah, that was messy as fuck. That was messy as fuck. Like, girl, I have been wanting Huda to go home since the first week. After she pulled all that stuff with Jeremiah, I know people were trying to get her out before, but like, Huda did not deserve to stay because genuinely she ruined this season. Like, come on, bro. And like I said, nobody's judging you for being a midnight ballerina. Nobody's judging you for being a mom. But at the same time, it's like she uses her being a mom to like go after people and like have that be a reason on why she is the way she is. I've talked about this, but I personally believe if you have a child before the age of 25 or even before you are financially stable to take care of that child, you are stunted at the age that you had your first child at. Let's be real. Huda had her daughter at what, 18, 19 years old? In that mentality, and on top of being a midnight ballerina and all her childhood trauma that, has happened to her, you have all these factors. Going on a dating show was the last thing you should have done. And don't get me wrong, I understand that Love Island producers, they reach out to people and they kind of like recruit them in a way. In the same sense, Huda got away with too fucking much. And that coercion one really put the nail on the head, because that's where I'm like, girl, you're trying to count down 3, 2, 1. Like, this man's not only won a child, but you're gonna say, if you don't fuck me right now, I'm gonna be mad at you. Do you know that coercion? If somebody says that they don't want to do something and then you're trying to coerce them into doing it, that is sexual assault. It is. But if the roles were reversed, right? And if Chris was doing this to Huda, counting down 3, 2, 1, oh, I'm gonna be mad at you if you don't cuddle me right now or have sex with me, you think he would still be on the show? And that's where it's just like the hood rats or Huda HQ, whatever you want to call her fan base, y'all are psycho. And y'all are also children, because y'all are psycho, you're children, and or you see yourself in Huda, because she is a beautiful woman. I'm not denying that at all, but she's also insecure as fuck. And she uses that insecurity to her advantage. She sits there, and when women are coming after her, she cries, she deflects, and she tries to, change the problem. But when Nick is coming at her and telling her the issues that he has with her, it's, I understand. So why are you kiki kaka with Nick, but when it comes to any type of black woman, aka Shelly or Landria, fucking confronting you, they'll hear the waterworks come. And I'm gonna admit, the heart rate challenge, I didn't quite understand. I was trying to see it from both sides, right? And there was a time where I was not necessarily leaning towards defending Huda, but I just felt like, we all know with Syria being in the villa, it was adding some negativity. But like, it just felt like everybody was ganging up on Huda, and that's where I'm like, okay, I don't understand why she can't kiss someone that she's in a couple with, whatever. But now, like, seeing everything and really understanding the type of person that Huda is, this is who she is. Like, what? Chris was not going for that at all. And that is exactly why, like, I have been saying it. Chris does not like that girl. He does not like her. Chris hates Huda. I keep saying this. Chris hates Huda. They're talking about their peaks and their pits. He's talking about playing basketball and seeing his mom and sister. The way Huda, and then he said, yeah, I don't got another one. Huda's face dropped. She said, get them out now. Especially, you could see it on family day. That man was stressing. First of all, they're sat like apart. And then he's like, I don't know what my mom is going to say. I don't know what my sister's going to say. They're very honest people and they speak their truth. Yet here you are still coupled up with Huda. And I also didn't appreciate his mom and his sister like biting their tongue and not saying the truth about Huda, because if y'all really have seen this girl, she's psycho. So that's where I'm like, why does she keep being able to get away with stuff? Why does she get to stay in the villa while people like Hannah, people like Charlie had to leave? Charlie shouldn't have gone home that night. It should have been Huda. Like I said, Huda is an extremely beautiful girl. At the same time, she knows that if given the opportunity, these men are going to fold, aka Jeremiah fold, aka Chris folded. Okay, cool. What I notice is that especially after Huda has sex with these men, the whole entire vibe just completely changes and goes down for the worst. I personally think that after Huda has sex with these men, she's expecting them to be obsessed with her and them to reassure her and have, 10 times more validation when it comes to her. At the same time as well, I think that she puts too high of expectations on these men after not knowing them for that long and then having sex with them. I think people were saying she gave Jeremiah a hand job on the first day. They were showering together by the 4th day, probably had sex the 5th day. Like, you barely know these people, and I completely understand you are spending 24/7 time with these people, okay? I can understand that. But when it comes time to it and you want to contradict yourself all the time, first being like, I'm not easy, here y'all are. For her to be like, oh, I would never look at a man and be like, but then when she's with Jeremiah, you would cry for me? Nigga, no, he just met you. And then for her to be like to TJ, oh, I would never go crazy just because you don't like me. You were literally screaming across the villa calling Jeremiah a pussy ass bitch when he basically rejected you. So what is it? Especially when watching those interviews and watching what Chris had to say when it came to how Huda was acting in that moment when she was trying to coerce him into having sex. He literally said that that night, especially on the finale night, they only got 2 to 4 hours of sleep. They have to be right back up to go on their dates, especially if it's early. And let's be real, I really don't see people taking naps like that in Love Island. So, you know, maybe it's just not shown, but these people really don't get a lot of sleep. So for them to be on their last night or one of their last nights and Huda's trying to fucking have sex with him, but you won't even kiss the man in front of people, like that is also like another argument that I really didn't understand. I was really trying to see it from Huda's perspective, but I just can't. How are you going to say all the girls always got on me that me and Jeremiah were too PDA? They never said that, because first of all, this is Love Island. What they were trying to say is that you get on the bombshells and you be calling them bitches and all that stuff when you don't know them. You be calling people out their fucking name for doing the experiment of the show, the whole reason why they came on here. So where I'm confused is why you're even feeling some type of way when you're the one who pops your pussy so fucking quick that men lose respect for you. So that's where it was also like Chris was not being dramatic at all, because I'm pretty sure that there's some type of rule where they can't sleep in a bed that isn't theirs, so they have to sleep in soul ties or somewhere else if they're gonna sleep anywhere else. I completely understand why he wouldn't want to sleep with Huda on the last day, because didn't they like get into a pillow fight and she was trying to be like, look what you did to my nose. He doesn't care about you, bro. And then also him going out to sleep and she's being like, he's being such a big baby about it. He's being so dramatic, like it wasn't even that big of a deal. No, because he doesn't want to be poked and prodded and said, I know you're up, I know you're up. The nigga is trying to get into REM and trying to fall asleep, and here you are poking him, talking about 3, 2, 1. Huh? Like I said, that's what I'm so confused on, because it's like, how are you willing to have sex in bed? And I get it, the lights are off, whatever, but how are you willing to do that around everybody and everybody's in the same room smelling all that stuff? Ew. But to even give the man a kiss, like, why are you trying to look around? I think, and people were saying it, Huda is jealous of Shelly and Alandria, but more specifically Shelly. Even in her Call Her Daddy, talking about, oh yeah, Ace is cute, like I am attracted to him, why do you think I kissed him in the challenge? You just told on yourself, bro. Like, if you really wanted to not be so like, you know, Shelly, I don't understand why you're mad at me, why would you even say that? So now she really knows. And then for you to be like, oh, I'm bringing back Chris so we can both explore him and all that stuff, you look messy. At the beginning I understood that, because obviously Huda doesn't have any connections, but why is she still here? It reminds me of Liv. Like Liv from season 6, because I'm still watching that. Liv didn't have a connection with nobody. Like, she would get in a couple, then it wouldn't work out until like what, episode damn near 30? Like, Liv was in that villa for a minute, single as hell. So that's where I'm also like, with Huda, she was coupled up with Jeremiah, boom, she was able to be single. And like, for so, like, it's been so easy where it's like, boom, if you're single, you're done from the island. So that's why this season I'm so confused why she was able to get away with so much regardless of her fan base. And like I said, Huda is stunted at the age of 19. And I also think it's kind of weird for you to sit here and say like, I love my daughter, all this other stuff, but yet, you know, you go on a dating show, okay, cool, nobody cares about that. You haven't seen your daughter since y'all got your phones back, or even since you've been out the villa. They've been out the villa for over a week now, yet people are saying that her dad took the daughter on a vacation. Now, why would he do that? Do y'all not like, I feel like people don't like to look into stuff too much because they went, oh, I'm reaching. It's not reaching though when you actually do your research. Come on now. So I think especially like, it's kind of suspicious that Huda's baby daddy would bring their daughter on a vacation knowing when Huda got back. Like, so I think that also plays into it. And somebody said Huda be acting like she don't have custody of her daughter. And I think, you know, people are saying the dad's in the military, all this other stuff, but that's where I'm just like, you care more about going and getting cracked on national television where your daughter can see this in 10 years time than being there for your daughter and missing her graduation for school and her birthday. That would be my first flight back. And also another thing that I don't fucking appreciate is the fact that she said that everybody there bullied her and nobody was there for her whenever she was crying or whatever. But then you see the clips where everybody is coddling her ass.
I felt like I had no one. Like I wanted to talk about things with people and no one would give a fuck.
With another woman.
Huda's negativity during this season honestly made it insufferable to watch. Huda being on my screen, Huda, I don't know if you'll ever see this, you are beautiful and you are so like, you have the grit to obviously get to where you want to go, but you need therapy, intensive therapy, because what I saw is a lot of stuff that you have not healed from your childhood trauma, and that's why it's seeping into your relationships now. That fear of abandonment, that self-sabotaging to keep the partner around to try to make sure that, you know, they're still interested in you. I see right through it, bro. Go and heal yourself, because like now, can you really believe that we wasted sending Shelly and Ace home for Huda and Chris to break up in the finale? And then for her to be like, he's giving out your hand, he's not motioning that he's gonna carry you, so are you gonna carry me or am I gonna walk? That nigga said, I'm not gonna carry you. Talking about, oh, he said this, this, and this, and then it cuts. Huda, bro, don't you ever get tired of telling lies? I mean, that's pathological liars. Like, they don't get tired of hearing themselves tell lies. But, like, at the same time, it's like, girl, don't you get tired? You be saying you don't have friends, and this is how you treat the people that you spent the last month and a half on talking shit. Not once. And I remember seeing an interview somewhere. I'm gonna have to go find it. Somebody literally asked her about the hate that, like, Alandria was getting and whatever. She was like, well, if I don't hate her, then nobody should.
Alandria, like, I still love Alandria. Like, if you know, if I'm not hating her, I don't think anyone should be. I think that, you know, everyone is entitled to their own opinion, but I think there are lines that are crossed. And I don't condone hate. I don't condone bullying. I don't condone anything of that. I think people's safeties are at risk. Yeah. And the last thing I want is for anyone to feel unsafe or to feel like they're getting some sort of backlash at my expense. I think that's ridiculous. I think, you know, everyone should be able to live their life normally. Everyone's entitled to their own opinion. You can say, hey, I don't agree with what you did, but, you know, do it in a respectful way that's not like antagonizing. And, you know, even with Shelly, like me and Shelly, we're not the closest, but we're cool with each other. And, you know, I do wish her the best and I do care for her as a person. We can still hug each other and say hi. It's not like oh, fuck you. Like, it's not that at all. And I don't think anyone should be getting any type of hatred at all.
So it's subjective and conditional on when you like Alandria and when you don't. Yet you were basically, oh my gosh, Alandria and Nick couldn't even have a kiss in the damn pool because you're clinging to Nick on live. You want to run in and tell and interrupt the live just so you can be a part of it. Girl, like I said, I only defended her when it came to the standing on business challenge because I feel like there was a lot of editing that we didn't see. But at the same time, Huda goes too far and she takes things too far. Same with the heart rate challenge. She literally told Nick, I understand I went too far. I shouldn't have done that. But then when you're around Shelly, you act oblivious. And this is where I'd be saying, like, Huda is not necessarily white, but she is white adjacent. You're the closest thing basically to a white person. So that's where I'm also like, you could be white passing, really. So when I say that, that reminds me of my when white girls want to be ghetto. It's like you guys have this like vendetta against black women when you know that black women are the blueprint. Huda was mad that Shelly was always having 1 to 2 men throwing themselves at her, willing to do anything to like show her like, hey, I'm serious about this. And Huda just clung onto one person, aka Jeremiah, locked in so quick. Like, watching her insecurity bothered me, bro. Even like going back, like there was so much that happened this season that I kind of forgot a lot of the stuff that happened. And I don't even want to go back and rewatch it because it will drain me even more. But at the same time, her and Jeremiah are having a conversation and she's like, so you're closed off? He's like, I mean, I'm not really talking to anyone right now, but if somebody did come in, I'm gonna talk to them. Well, he pulls out a chair for Iris and she has a mental breakdown. I'm like, are you okay? Genuinely, are you okay? Because even I was like, until I watched that clip back, I'm like, why is she crying? Why are we causing a scene? Huda was extremely toxic, especially to Jeremiah from the beginning. That whole pancake gate, I get it. No protein, bitch, I'd be mad too. We barely eat any protein in this villa as is, and you're gonna just make me a pancake? A raw pancake at that? Completely understand. But there's ways of going about correcting your partner without trying to humiliate them with another man. And that's the thing about Huda, is that she is so male-centered. Somebody even went all the way back on her TikTok. Every video you scroll, she's talking about a man in some type of form or fashion. Girl. And I also think in her Call Her Daddy podcast, why did nobody clock? Some people clocked it, but not a lot of people clocked it. Why are you sitting here saying that you're with your daughter 24/7, but you have her Sunday through Thursday or whatever through Thursday? And then at the same time, you're sitting here saying, oh, well, we talk to each other about the boys we like. Your daughter is 4. She's 4. Why are you talking to her about boys that she likes? Like, that's where I'm just like, I just thought it was so funny when she like asked Jeremiah, like, do you want to shower again? And he's like, like, no, you're rude. I was like, finally the man is sticking up for himself, because where did that come from? Genuinely. I think that Chris, when it came down to it, he wanted Shelly, but he was not willing to chase after Shelly. He literally said himself, I was born to not chase. Like, I'm not used to doing that. So that's why he said he's gonna take a step back, focus on the connection that he has with Huda. And like, I understood that completely. But at the same time, men like to chase. And the thing with Chris, I think he was regretting not fully chasing after Shelly and seeing what that could have been, because now he's stuck with Huda and they're getting into a fight every other day. People are like, I like Chris for Huda, she da da da. But when Chris puts Huda in her place, talking about stop interrupting me, let me finish, and being stern, because Huda let him talk, bro. She interrupted him like 7 times within that conversation. He kept having to say, like, him saying over and over and over again, let me finish, let me talk. Huda listens to respond. She doesn't listen to actually take it in and understand what the person is trying to say, which is why her and Chris were so not compatible. Everyone kept saying, I like Huda and Chris together. I like Huda and Chris. I don't. Sorry. I don't like them together. And to be the first couple in Love Island history to break up during the finale, the final date, what are we doing? Genuinely, what are we doing? And again, Chris being nervous as fuck for his mom and sister to meet Huda, because everybody's watching the show, but they're actually in the villa when it comes time to people showing their true color. And just to bring it back to the main point of the video, what I specifically want to talk about is Huda. Coercion is sexual assault. You trying to tell a man 3, 2, 1. First of all, that's manipulative as hell. Second of all, why are you mommying him? And third of all, if a man says he just wants to get his sleep, leave him alone. I don't know why you're trying to harass the man when y'all know you only get 2 to 4 hours of sleep. And like I said, he had a fair fucking point. You want to sit here and fuck in the same room as everybody else, but you can't even give me a kiss out in the villa? You want me to make you feel validated every single time, but you can't even validate me with the kiss in the villa? Clark it. And I think especially when it comes down to it being a black man, not everybody is going to take it 100% serious. And that's where I wanted to speak on this topic, because sexual assault, I think a lot of people aren't educated on the different types of sexual assault, and coercion is definitely one of them. Like I said, I unfortunately have had my own personal experience when it comes to coercion and sexual assault, which is why this literally just resonated with me so deep, because Huda, if somebody says no, no means no. Leave him alone, bro. And I get it. You're trying to say, oh, I know you're awake. So if you know he's awake and he's purposefully fucking ignoring you, leave him alone. Like, bro. So yeah, I just wanted to come on here and speak on that, because I feel like that topic in itself, sexual assault, especially against black men, need to be more talked about, because if the roles were reversed, this wouldn't have happened the way that it did. I think genuinely going forward, Huda needs to take some type of accountability. And I'm glad that Shelly and Alandria unfollowed her, because you wanted to sit there and cling to Nick Alandria while you're simultaneously not even backing them up and saying, we don't tolerate no type of racism over here. It's only, well, if I'm not beefing with her, then y'all shouldn't. Good. We know that your fan base is all high school students or people who are stunted at the same age that you were when you had your daughter. Go take time, heal, before you even think about getting in another relationship. But I can't even say that, because apparently she was already seen holding hands with another man at the Grove. I don't fucking know. Get it together. Go visit your daughter. Go see your kid. Like, and you know what's so funny? Oh my fucking gosh. I was just watching this clip on TikTok about Bad Girls Club, and it's Rima versus, I think her name was Erica. And she goes, if I wanted to be a slut, I could. If I wanted to go buy your clothes from whack ass Charlotte Russe, I could. If I wanted to abandon my child, I would do that too. I said, she ate her up. Clark it. I can't stop with the Clark it. It's too addicting. But yeah, that was just my opinion, especially when it comes to Huda, hood rats. Huda is an extremely manipulative person, and people like her need to be careful, because when people tell you about yourselves, you're not going to like it. And I think for everybody else, be careful if you have a Huda in your life, because I feel like we all know someone like her. All right. I think I have yapped long enough, especially about this topic. So yeah, I really hope y'all enjoyed this video, and I'll see you on my next one. Bye, y'all.